Hey everyone, this is me, Joyful Anime 19, back at you with a new What If video. And this one's gonna be this is gonna be part 2 of What If Deku has Savior's powers. Okay. I believe I can only make like 3 or 4 videos today. So let's see. Last time we left off, Deku is at the is at the mock battle test, the practical test, and it's already done. 10 minutes are up, and he goes back home. Well, actually, that he flies. He actually finds a place where he can actually. He actually finds a place where he can actually use his quirk, since since in since in out since he knows in UA you can use your quirk, but outside of UA you can't use your quirk. So yeah, Deku tries to find a place where he can use his quirk so he can fly back home. And he finds and he goes and he finds a bush and he hides under it and he uses his quirk. He uses both since he can only manifest 2 quirks. Sometimes, so he believes maybe I can combine them. So yeah, he's invisible, no one can see him, and he's flying in the air, hoping that no one notices. And he's invisible, so yeah. And he makes it back home, and he hides behind a tree and deactivates his quirk. So yeah, Deku is now at home. He told his mom that he'll be training for a while, so he can be ready for UA. And the week goes by, and Deku's acceptance letter comes, and his mom gives it to him, and he runs into his room to see if he got accepted or not. And a holographic projection of All Might comes out and says, "It is me, All Might, in the form of a holographic projection." I don't think I said it right. So yeah, and All Might says, "Hello, young Midoriya." All Might? Wait a minute. When you say we'll be seeing each other, you're a teacher? Holy. And All Might says, not only did you do well in the theory exam, you also did very well. Actually, that you broke the record in UA history for destroying the most robots. Not only did you destroy robots, but you also earned rescue points as well. And Deku's rescue points are about 95 points. And his villain points are now at 125 villain points. So yeah. All Might says, "Congratulations, Izuku Midoriya. Welcome to Your Hero Academia." And Deku is like a bunch of, after that shower of tears comes from his eyes, and his mom also hears it, and she's also happy. Plus, she's also crying as well. And that she's crying that she's so proud of her. She's proud of her child. Yeah. So she decides to cook. Of course, she's still she's crying a little bit. So yeah. The weekend is over and Deku is now off to UA. talk to Yue, and he says bye to his mom. And Deku also let's see. Deku is now at UA. Now let's stop. Now let's think right here. When Deku was on his way to UA, he saw something that caught his eye, and it was a man. Actually, that Deku has a very like one of those reporters' eyes that they have an eye for the scoop or something like that. How do I say this? Deku, he how do I say this? How do I say it? How do I say it? How do I say it? You know what? We'll just get back to the what up. Deku is at. No, wait a minute. He sees Nira and he asks him and she asked her if she wanted a lift, and Nira kind of says yes. And if you want to know Nira's quirk, she can her quirk allows her to gives her the ability to lift objects with her mind. Telekinesis quirk. So yeah, Deku gives her a lift, and they land near a tree, and they go walking to UA. Let's see. Nira is going to be a support hero. It's in the support class, support course. So and Deku's in the hero course. They say bye to one another and they go to their classes. And Deku gets to class 1A and he sees Bakugo and Ida arguing with each other. Nothing will change. Yeah, nothing will definitely change. So yeah. And Deku's saying, Bakugo, when will you change? When will you learn? And so yeah, Deku is sitting down on his desk and he kind of falls asleep because he's really tired. Because he was so excited because yesterday on Sunday he was really excited and he couldn't sleep. So yeah, that's why he's so tired. And Deku, he wears a bracelet. He wears a bracelet and it's brown and it's a brown colored bracelet, and Nira also has one. So yeah, Nira gave this to him when they were both kids, saying that it's a symbol of our friendship. And Deku's worn it ever since. So yeah. So Deku has always been wearing the same bracelet. And he also washes it. Sometimes it gets dirty, so he washes it. So let's get back to the water. Deku is sleeping, is laying his head on the desk and he's sleeping. And everyone notices Deku right away, and they're saying, "Wait, where'd he come from?" And Todoroki also at looks Deku's way and says, "Wait, is that him? I didn't know he was going to be in my class, in this class. So, it seems now I have a rival. It seems now I have a really powerful rival." And and Uraraka comes in and she sees Deku laying his head on the desk, and Deku and Uraraka taps him and says hi, and Deku wakes up and says, what? And they both shake hands and has a little drool coming out of his mouth, and he wipes it off. So embarrassing. Why did I fall asleep? And Mr. Aizawa comes in and says, if you're here to socialize, well, guess what? If you are, then leave now. And everyone sees Mr. Aizawa, so yeah, blah blah blah. The whole quirk assessment test and the whole expulsion thing if you get last place. So yeah. And and when they all get outside in their gym uniform, Deku and Mr. Aizawa asks to Deku about how hard was he able to throw back in his school, and he said he was only able to throw like 80 meters away, 80 meters, and he says okay, use your quirk this time. Okay, and Deku uses his quirk and he remembers Uraraka's quirk, seeing that since it can remove gravity from any object. So he does the same thing as well, and he gets infinity. And Uraraka is saying this in her mind, saying, "Wait a minute, does he have the same quirk as me?" And Mr. Aizawa says, back at your schools, you were all told not to use your quirks." And so he explains the whole thing about this system is not right, is not rational, and things like that. So yeah. Everyone is excited, but they're also scared because Mr. Aizawa says if we're not serious, and if we don't give it our all, then we'll be expelled. Then they'll be expelled. So yeah, so yeah. Everyone tries their best, and Taru and Deku actually destroys it at the racing, and all the other ones. And Uraraka also ties to first place with Deku. And Deku doesn't actually want to talk about his quirk since he knows that the sports festival is coming, so he doesn't want to actually talk about it that much. But he does tell Uraraka about it. That he can his quirk allows him to manifest different quirks, and if he no longer desires that power, then he goes back to the way he was before. And Todoroki also heard this, and he's saying, This guy really has a powerful quirk. I should be careful around him. So yeah, that's done. And All Might is actually really proud of that. Is like really proud of Deku for giving it his all. And Taru, the Invisible Girl, actually got last place, and Deku was actually going to, and she's going to be expelled, but Deku comes in and says, "Wait, give her a second chance." And Mr. Aizawa is saying, "Why would I do that? Tell me. Give me a reason why I should do that." She may not have been able to give her all, but if she trains hard enough, she can actually show you what she's really made of. She can actually show you her true potential. And besides, the test was saying about her true potential, but only in physical, but only in physical ability, not in combat. And Mr. Aizawa thinks of this, and he says, "Okay, fine. She stays. Stays then." And Taro says, the Invisible Girl?" And Taro says, "Thank you for standing up for me." And Deku says, "No problem." And this one, Taro... No, wait a minute. And this one, Taro is actually going to be training like crazy, like hell. She's going to be training like crazy to get as strong as she can. So yeah, we have that. Mineta also sees this, and he was thinking, if he was expelled, would he have done the same for me? And Deku comes to reassure Mineta and says, "Yes, I would stand up for you." And Mineta also trains hard and stops and trying to restrain himself from being like a total pervert. So yeah, the next day is the is it's the villains versus heroes thing, and and er, and everyone gets in their hero costumes and they go out into the model city. And Deku's costume is gonna be like, it's gonna be green, but he's wearing like a robe like cape. And he gives and he gives everyone a little dummy bell. No, actually, no, he doesn't do that. So yeah, Deku is, and everyone sees him, and Deku kind of looks like a cowboy. Kind of looks like a cowboy, but he doesn't have any guns. So yeah, they kind of see Deku's really cool costume. It's green. It's green because that's his favorite color. But they'll be surprised by his costume since it can do much more than make him look good. So yeah, the heroes versus villains thing, that doesn't happen. They're gonna do a thing called capturing the flag, and everyone's a hero, and they need to capture the bomb. And there's also like there's also going to be like robots. There wasn't there, and if you're wondering, wait a minute, are they going into Model City? No, they're not in the Model City. They're in a man-made like desert place. And in this game, you have to destroy the enemies in front of you in order to get to the flag, since the enemies are robots, and or you should find a way around them. And Deku asked Uraraka if she could use her quirk. They make his plan, and yeah, and Deku says go, and everyone starts, and they run, trying to get the bomb, first. Deku and Uraraka are running as fast as they can. They run into a robot, and Deku actually destroys it in one shot. One shots it. Of course, 3 more robots came along, and Deku makes one of them explode. And tells Uraraka to use her quirk to make the other 2 float. And it does, and so yeah, it's a hard battle where you have to destroy the enemy or get around them in order to get to the bomb. And everyone's trying to get to the bomb. So it's kind of like a race thing. And Deku and Uraraka are about to be there, but then a big 0-pointer is in their way and saying, Deku says, "Not this guy again. Looks like I gotta take him out again. But he's behind the bomb. If I use that same attack again, he'll fall over his back. And practically the bomb will be destroyed. So I can't let that happen." And Bakugo flies over the 0-pointer, but then Deku says, "Ah, shit, whatever." And he grabs Uraraka, and they go right through the robot, intangibility style, everyone. And he teleports in front of the missile, and Uraraka and him touches the bomb together, since they're a team. They're both tired and exhausted, and everyone did their best. So yeah, everyone else is trying to get their bombs, and they finally do. So yeah, Deku is happy about this, and Uraraka and him actually like do that merry-go-round thing. But then they let go of each other's hands and then they blush, something like that. So they give each other a fist bump. And All Might is even more proud of Deku for doing a great job getting to the bomb before the villains did. So in this one, yeah, the villains also had to get the bomb to activate it so it can explode, so it can like destroy the city block. So yeah, Deku is on the heroes team, and they managed to get to the bomb and deactivate it. So yeah, now we'll go, and Mr. Aizawa says that you have to pick, and the next day the press is outside. They're all asking questions about is All Might really a teacher or something like that. and everyone from class 1A doesn't really want to talk to the media, so Deku uses his quirk to make them invisible. And so yeah, they get through the gates, but you know, Ida, he was already in the media, and he gives them a straightforward answer, but they get bored of him. But then his lecture is kind of like boring as hell. So yeah, he also goes in as well. And Mr. Aizawa says you have to pick a class representative, and yeah, Deku ends up becoming a class president, and so yeah, at lunch, Deku is eating with his new friends, Ida and Uraraka, and they're saying and they're sitting there eating their lunch, talking to each other, and then the UA alarm goes off, and everyone begins to get scared and freak out of nowhere. The so yeah, Deku was actually was actually was actually front facing with the window, and he sees the media, and he tries to tell this to everyone, but no one's hearing him, so he fly up decides to fly up and do a sonic and to also do a sonic scream for all of them to hear. And Deku says that it's just the media, everyone, that everyone should calm down, and besides, we're all here at UA training to become heroes. So yeah, everyone calms down. A few are embarrassed because they didn't know it was the media, and they believe they made a total fool out of themselves, and they give their respect to Deku, saying thank you. So yeah, the media is actually the police come and they escort the press out of UA. So yeah, Deku is yeah. So yeah, third part will be of the USJ attack. And thank you everyone for watching this video.